Yeah. Well, you already know, so he's not finding out with the rest of us. He's just finding out.
Like I said, it's still early, so I'll be in and out. I'm not going to stay on here the whole time.
And we're live.
Yeah, we're live. Of course we're live. What is up, YouTube people? How are you tonight? We are here for Orange and Glad It's Not the Closer, number 10. We have a panel, and we have some people out in the chat. We'll see who we got. We got the Reaper is out there, back safe from Tulsa. Kingpin is out there. He's got the wrong show because we don't bawoosh here. Jason Stewart's out here. Trigger plus P. I think that's a new name. We got Chinese Long Bean, which is Jason Stewart, I believe. That's his new screen name that we handed to him from Midnight Show, The Closer. There we go. Now we got a bawoosh. We got Shaky's out there for now. Fry Cook's out there. Gizzard. Are you done? And you're muted again. There you go.
Yeah, I didn't realize I wasn't. My bad.
Got Gizzard Gary out there in here. We've got Two Live Moo. So we've got we're not going to have any problems with Two Live Moo and Gary here, are we? I mean, we're not going to have a whole oh Christ, now I can't think of the place. Chick-fil-A. We're not going to have a whole Chick-fil-A situation, are we? I just see Two Live Moo holding up banners and stuff trying to get people to eat Gary.
I think you're going to end up more with Rokal's Garage.
Well, yeah, if he steals that funny-looking dog from Snob, then that's going to be what it is exactly. And we got Seven Wonders. Seven, there's no underage girls here, so you're safe. This is a safe place. Mark yourself as safe on Facebook. We'll go through the panel here from my left. Your who knows. We've got Gizzard Gary joining us from a little place called Kansas.
There's no place like home. Thanks for the invite, man.
You're quite welcome. We got Kingpin jumping in after all the introductions are made. How you doing, Kingpin?
Doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
From a little tiny state that's got like a funky little panhandle on it, we've got Rich coming to us from West Virginia, if the signal can get out.
Yeah, it's getting out, and there's two panhandles.
Oh, there's two. Ooh, you got one of those fancy states.
Yeah, it's got one on the east end. Yeah, there's one on the west side of the state and the east side of the state.
Those are handlebars then.
Yeah, that's not panhandles if they're on both sides.
No, because one's actually pointing up, so their handlebars are really weird handlebars.
You remember that South Park episode where they made that monocycle?
A lot of people say West Virginia's just giving the rest of the country the middle finger. But you look at the outline.
It could be. You're in a mitten though, like Michigan. So, roll call. Come here, buddy.
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, man. Thank you for having me. I don't know. Is this my first time on the show?
No, you've been on here before. You were on here when we were doing the you came on when we were doing the what in the hell, Snob?
I thought my phone was on silent.
So much professionalism, I just can't contain myself.
Well, had my phone out to show somebody a picture whenever it came my turn.
No, you were on here when we were doing the Tulsa setting up for it when Shaky had to go. Yeah, Shaky had to go make calls, and then she called the wrong place and came back and told us all the numbers for the wrong place, and we had to send her back out. So you've been on here before.
All right.
But,
all right. I'm just making sure.
Okay. You show anybody the door lately?
Oh, man. If you watched my chat last night, boy, ooh, I got a little bit heated. A little bit heated.
You? No way. No,
not you. Come on.
What did you do?
I'm like cool to a certain point, but when the BS starts flowing, I think that gets my juices cooking, and I just can't stop myself. So hopefully it'll be a good show for you, and I stay silent.
Just eat some more of that Whataburger ketchup and keep
Yep.
your mouth full.
Are you just
man.
squirting that right into your mouth? Not
Get
even
started.
no fries or anything. Just squirting that ketchup right in your mouth, aren't you?
Did Sarge give you your gift?
Yes, my little takeout Whataburger ketchup. You son of a.
So that will get you juiced to come in November, because you guys need to come in November because I'm not going to be there. So then you guys can do Whataburger in November.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to swing going twice a year. Well, but we're looking at some things, and it may be a yearly thing for me. So
See,
We'll do
Oklahoma
that,
isn't
but-
so bad, is it? I said, see, Oklahoma isn't so bad, is it?
No, they got that one. There's one woman there that is really, really strange and not very friendly. And then she makes that unfriendly carry around to other women that are around there, and all you hear, zzz, zzz, ah, damn it, woman.
Something about like that.
Yeah, about like that.
Adam Knox has even met her mini-me Saturday or Friday morning, so I got two of them to deal with that live at my house.
No, you poor bastard. But thanks for coming in, roll call. Well, if we got anybody that needs door showing, we'll make sure that you're on deck. Sarge coming to us from the better of the Carolinas, way out there to the west part of it. How are you?
Good. How you doing? Appreciate the invite.
I'm doing all right. And the guy from Tulsa area himself, who can't go by that P36 or P320 because he's not a Tulsa resident. How are you, Snub?
I am wonderful. And roll call. Can you see that?
You put your kids in a cage?
Yeah, with that crazy looking dog.
I didn't know you
Why?
lived on the border.
Yeah. Did you try and sneak her from Mexico? That's horrible.
Is that actually under an overpass? Is that where she's at? Feeding her dog?
Possibly. Possibly.
All right. It looks like we had a couple others join us. Rupan joined us. He knows the bike I'm talking about from South Park. Gunpowder Beauty's in here just in case anybody needs a throat punch. Guitar Man Pete came in. 38 Super Partisan, who, by the way, showed up in the second best shirt in Tulsa. It did have orange writing on it though, so I'll give him that. Fine Ape is in here now. If nobody's seen, I don't know why Fine Ape doesn't go on camera because he is just a gorgeous man. I mean, he is. That's probably why he doesn't do it. He probably doesn't go on camera because there'd be too many panties dropping.
Mm-hmm. Don't know how to fight the women off.
I mean, he's got that voice and he's just absolutely gorgeous. So some people get all the luck. Rodney Peters is in the house. I think we're caught. Oh, Andrew Faulkner came in. We'll let him stay. He's all right. He's not bad for a Packer fan, but we'll let him stay. So I think the Kingpin, same problem, but I don't have the voice. Oh, Georgia Trucker came in. What do you got now? We'll call 219. It's got green on it, so yeah, your hands are doing a funny thing, and roll call's card is doing a funny thing.
It was just a tiny hand holding roll call's card.
Okay.
Just being bored.
So I think while we've got Sarge here in case he drops out, and while the three of us are together here, that we've got a big announcement to make, and that is that something that we're excited to do. We spent I don't know about 4 hours on the phone Monday, right after we left. Snob calls Sarge and I up about half hour after we got on the road. You guys left yet? Yeah, we're on the road. Oh man, I want to go get breakfast with you or something. So, but we spent
Probably more like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe it was a while, but we're excited to announce that the three of us are joining in a new venture, and it is a new channel called Trigger Plus P, who was out there in the chat. And Snob, I'm assuming that was you. Do you still have it pulled up?
No, it's not me.
Wasn't you? It was Sarge
It's
doing
me.
it? Was you?
So are you guys like brother channel partners now?
Well, we're
That
brother
was-
podcast partners. It's just a
Brother
podcast.
podcast
It's not really
partner.
going to be
That
a channel. It's going to be a podcast.
That was the first name tossed out was Brother Channel Partners, but we brainstormed it for a little while and ended up with Trigger Plus P. So the three of us are joining forces and going to do either a monthly or bi-weekly podcast where it's the three of us and we bring in a guest and actually have some kind of semblance of professionalism. So we're all going to have to dial it back. Well, yeah, we're going to have to dial it back just a little bit.
Hey, professionalism, you guys just lost me there.
I said a little. I didn't say it was going to be a lot.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a shot.
Okay. All right. So Trigger Plus P is commented out there. If everybody wants to go over there and subscribe. Yes, fine.
Abe. That's exactly what
That's exactly what we need.
And we need some other stuff from you eventually, so we'll be in contact.
Yeah, we're gonna call on Fine Ape Services if he was nice enough to do it. Yeah, but for real, if anybody can and is willing, has an extra sub to give, they can go ahead and give a sub over there, so we'll be able to go live here at some point on that channel with the new podcast.
Once we get it all ironed out, we'll probably do the first, at least probably 3 or so, alternating between all 3 of our channels. And then we'll switch over to that channel for them. And we'll be uploading it to the popular podcast platforms as soon as we all learn how.
That's going to be more. That's going to be one more thing to learn. But yeah, we spent this week. Sarge spent the. We were on the phone for about 4 to 6 hours, and then Sarge spent another 4 to 6 hours on his phone making up the little logo for it. And then we got the website locked down and got the channel locked down.
Tell everybody what it stands for.
Well, they can see if they go to the thing. See, I'm selling without pushing. But you go ahead. You tell them what it stands for.
I'm kind of doing something right now. Just tell me.
Oh, you're busy? All right, fine. I'll cover it. It's Three Gun Guys radio podcast. So that's how we came up with it and just kind of sounding all kinds of things out. And we ended up there at Trigger Plus P. So it's the try for the 3 and then the 2 G's and the R and then the plus P is the podcast. So that's how we got to there. And we've got our little triangle. We got our little Illuminati symbol on it with 1911. So hopefully we get some nice stuff and get some good guests on there. I've already talked to the guys that I did that video today that I released today for the guys doing the Cerakote. Talked to them about it and they're interested in being on there. I've also got one queued up for that Cool Fire Training Systems. So I'm going to get in touch with that guy and see if maybe he wants to come on.
I did a video with him last year too. And he's from Tulsa, local.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
That was some neat stuff. I may have to get one of those. And I did the video and then I was talking to Eric a little bit afterwards and he said he's going to like the national meet or whatever after this, and all he's been training on was that. I don't know if I completely believe that because I would think that if you're at that level, you're not gonna just train on that. But yeah, he said he's been using it quite a bit. So But
Well, I said, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say last year I said I'd love to have that. I just hadn't wanted to spend the money on it. I don't know. I've thought about it several times, but that I did a interview last year with a laser LASR that had and basically what it was a program for a computer or a phone or something that just read where the laser shot, so you could put both of those together because you could use a SIRT pistol with it or whatever. If you put both of those together in one package, it'd be an awesome training aid.
Yeah, is that laser thing like that thing Midnight got? I see it.
It's kind
I see
of
you out there,
that.
Midnight, and I've got 2 other channel partners who got way more subs than I do. So we're going to get at least 18 views. So
Yeah.
there.
No, 24. Come on.
24. Yeah, it's I don't know, 22.
Yeah. We might even get 42.
So yeah, that Cool Fire training system looked pretty cool, and I guess it came out of the paintball field, which I can understand because that's how paintballs are, is with CO2.
Mm-hmm.
So they miniaturized a little, you got a little holding tank in their barrel insert and fires a piston, I'm guessing.
My wife has griped more in this chat than I have ever seen.
Really?
Well, first she gripes because she went over there to sub to Trigger Plus P and she was already subbed and she didn't know how that happened. And now she's griping because her computer's not at her desk. She needs to get a leash on her computer or something. Quit stealing it.
Something that's just walking away from her?
Yeah, but if she looked in my nightstand drawer, she might find it. Just saying. I think that's where it went and hid.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about this. So we're doing this, and we'll probably sometime in the near future we'll be e-bagging for patch sales, so we can get some patches and stickers made for the new channel. And is that her nickname for you, Jackass?
What happened? Oh man, what happened?
Oh man, did your finger slip again?
It did. It's tough. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there.
Did you accidentally time her out?
I thought I was just deleting the comment, but because I wanted to keep the chat, G-rated. But
well, it might not have been you. Trigger Plus P has a wrench too. It could have been.
Oh yeah, it could have been Trigger Plus P. Could have been
Trigger Plus P coming in and starting trouble right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. So that was our big news. Either you got anything you wanna add to it?
No, but I'll answer Dano's question. Dano, how did you not see her? She was there the whole time. She was asking if my wife was at the show. The only day she wasn't there was Friday when she was at work. But no, yeah, go check it out. Hopefully we're professional on it and, actually try to be professional somewhat. I mean, we're still gonna be having fun. That's not the thing of it. It's not gonna be, real professional. It's just gonna be somewhat professional. Oh my God, she's in my office. Good God. I got to get my camera on before I die.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you need to
don't mess with somebody who doesn't
Is she hitting you with a flip flop?
No, she didn't have a flip flop. She's not Cindy. That was just bare hands. Hey, now it's a house shoe. Get out of here. Hey, look at my wall while you're in here.
No.
Look at my wall while you're in here, woman.
No.
Ted, don't ruin his Mike the Cop wall.
I got some big news. You want to hear this big news?
Did Larry come back to life?
Man, I wish. I
Then
just
no, I don't.
back in the
Then I don't care. Then I don't care. If Larry didn't come back to life, no news is going to take the sting out of losing Larry. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I sent my email that my colleague, the gun snob, told me to send to the NRA. So I haven't heard back from them, and if I do not get a press pass, I'm going to buy a lifetime membership, and I'm going to run on the NRA's council and the board. And I seen Yankees video talking about Adam Kraut, but I'm just going to go there with no intentions, and I'm going to create a shitstorm. So be ready for that. So if they don't give me credentials, I'm holding the NRA hostage. If they do not give me credentials to do media stuff, I'm going to run. I'm going to buy a lifetime membership, and I'm going to run for the NRA council.
I can't wait to see that happen.
Snob, I've got an assignment for you. You are to keep a camera on roll call at all times.
Yes. Yes.
Trigger plus P's first video may go viral.
I've got an extra GoPro. You just want me to strap it on him and have him wear it?
Like a dog, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But you'll have to get one that's got like a selfie stick on it. So
Oh yeah, I can probably
so
duct
that
tape a
you
selfie stick on a chest rig or something.
You need the shoulder
Yeah,
that
so it-
looks down on him as he does it.
Exactly.
So when Adam Kraut comes up to me and he's like, "Well, who are you?" I'm trying to get on this board. I'm going
Show
to
him the
slap
door.
him with
You're
I'm going to slap him with the baby hand and show him the door. I'll be like, "Nobody likes you, buddy. Everybody likes me. I'm the change the NRA is going to never want." And then when they kick me off this board, I'm going to leave them with an upper tanker, and it's going to be over.
Okay, so the views expressed by Roll Call are the views of Roll Call 219 and the views of Roll Call 219 only. They do not express the views or opinions of Obnoxious One or any of his other panelists, though we are going to tune in to see what happens. and we will officially e-beg for your bail money.
So when did you send that said email?
I did it today.
And you're griping because you haven't heard back? I told you to do it Sunday night.
So, you know what happened Sunday night? We left at 5 in
what
the
happened.
morning. That's what happened Sunday night.
That's Monday
And,
morning, Roll Call.
That was Monday morning. We were at the diner at like 6 o'clock whenever we left. What happened after that?
It's called Grimm and his beer. It's Devil
called-
Potion. I mean, get out of here. She's
Hi,
over here-
guys.
She's over here trying to put her 2 cents in.
Well, I
Really
would
makes
tell her
me-
hi or be nice to her, but she tried to beat me with a flip-flop just because I accused her of murdering Larry.
You know what?
That's all
I'll
right.
see you in a week and a half, 2 weeks. Just wait until I see you, buddy.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I'll keep her at bay. I'll keep her at
Whether you guys are getting up there, she's going to beat him. She's going to have snow boots on to beat him with.
Yeah. Stop it. Don't jinx me like that, man. It's nasty weather coming in.
Oh, and I just want to make an announcement for everyone who was at breakfast at Hugo's. The tiny hands are still in the brush guard of the Dodge.
All right.
Oh, they'll
I'm
be
not
there.
sure where Midnight is, but his hands are still in the brush guard.
They'll be there until you wash that thing. So
They'll be there forever then.
So, Roll Call had big news too. That's awesome, buddy. I can't wait to see it.
Dude, I'm dead serious. If I do not get a press pass, I mean, let's look at the NRA. All right, can we veer off? Is this
Oh,
what
we
this
can-
chance
we-
about or what?
But we can veer wherever, buddy.
All right.
I'm just gonna
We
sit here
invite
and
Yankee
bask.
in first.
I'm just gonna sit here and bask in you.
Did you tell me I offered the coop
I really don't want to talk about Yankee. I think Yankee's got his own personal preferences to do, which is fine and all dandy by me. But you look at it this way: the NRA is doing what? They're not doing much, are they? So let's stir the pot. Am I talking about change? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt their change is coming. But let's stir the pot a little bit. Let's put somebody in there that's really gonna, get people thinking here. That's really gonna turn the screws. Let's get that going. Let's do it. Will it make a difference? Probably not. But guess what? It'll make for a great show, and it'll pretty much show that we're pretty much tired of what the NRA is doing at this point. The only way Adam Kraut is going to make a difference if Wayne LaPierre, passes into the afterlife, and the other guy, who's that other scumbag that hangs out with him, his little Igor friend. I mean, if he doesn't take his role, so let's change this up a little bit. Yankee wants Adam Kraut on his show for what? To feed us the S's and G's of life? Is that what we're gonna do? We don't have time for this. We have minimal time. Look at when the next election is. We have minimal time to mess around. It's time to take action. California's making it. A good stance on their magazine ban. Let's keep this momentum going. Let's do it. Put me in office, people. Put me in office. Let's make this happen. Especially if they don't give me a press pass. It's going to be over with. It's going to be over with.
I'm not sure Roll understands how all this works just yet. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just not 100% sure just yet.
I don't care. I just want to see the video.
Yeah. I just don't think that they didn't give me a press pass is a good platform for running for office.
But look at it this way, Rich White. What has Adam Kraut done? Has Adam Kraut gone to the Wanamaker Gun Show? Has Adam Kraut gone to a gun rally and spoke the truth? Has Adam Kraut done anything?
Lawyer.
What was that?
He's a gun rights lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. Why?
Yeah, he fights gun rights cases in court.
And look what we're dealing with in our government. We're dealing with a bunch of snakes. So are you going to deal with a bunch of snakes, or are you going to deal with the real deal here? What are you going to do? You're going to continuously vote these people in office that want to take guns away, that want to do this, that want to snake their way to make a couple $100, or do you want real change? It's up to you. It's up to all of us in each state that we're in to put people in the position to make these judgment calls. And when we don't, you get people like Wayne LaPierre, like his Igor friend. I mean, come on, man. It's time for a change. You want to make a change? Quit pandering to that kind of crowd and start making change. I mean, we only got so much time here. Because when the Democrats start doing their thing, and God forbid they win the presidency, hey, man, I've heard rumbles that the ATF is going to look at SBRs now even harder and pistols. Can't quote me on that, but there's a little bit of inside information in there. So, come on, what are we going to do?
They did it with the bump stocks. They'll come after the echo triggers and the binary triggers, and they'll go off after the braces. And there's plenty of people out there that just didn't see that. They thought, oh, bump stock, it's a piece of plastic, it's a worthless gimmick. Well, yeah, it is. So are braces, so are echo triggers, so are half a dozen other accessories that they'll end up marketing. But I am fully supporting your run at the NRA board at NRA this year. I fully support that, and I do have a little bit of bail money in for you. So.
Yeah, well, of course. But I'm telling you, if they give me a press pass, this is all off the table. It's over with. I'm lobbying for my press pass.
I'm emailing this gal and telling her, do not give him one.
Let me just get the hard question out of the way for you, since you're going to be running for the NRA board.
All right.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
A hot dog is whatever you think it is, buddy. If that's what you want to think it is,
you got this politician. You got this politician thing down right now.
Yep. I do not
on it, guys. Come on.
I do not infringe on anybody's right. If that's your opinion, that's great. I'm not infringing on anybody.
Nice right here. Libertarian hot dog stance.
Libertarian hot dog stance.
Oh,
what about Slim Jim? Is it a candy bar?
Slim Jim's a little bit harder to put into the category, but I will say yes because it's in the candy aisle. It's in the candy aisle.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
We already discussed that, Cindy. Is a hot dog a sandwich, Cindy? What do you think?
Hey, tell Cindy to go revive Larry instead of our conversation.
We have to know the first lady's view on this. What is
Shall not be infringed.
Oh, we got Fine Ape. Fine Ape is willing to toss in his fat guy's challenge money for roll call's bail money. So, but hi, Night
Or
Strike.
roll call.
How are you?
Or roll call.
Are you here to support roll call's bid for the NRA board?
only if he doesn't get a press pass?
Well, you know, he called me the other day and said he wanted me to be his campaign manager. So, yeah, you know, of course I'm on board.
Is he running under the birthday party?
Well, he might be. He might be running under multiple parties. So just, you know, throw whatever on the wall, see what sticks, right?
Like New Year's,
the liquored up and can't walk party.
That would be Halloween or New Year's, either way.
Hey, I will tell you, I will start giving out birthday cake and ice cream, man. I'll start giving out birthday cake and ice cream.
Why don't you just give out birthday cake ice cream and make it simpler?
Well, I can go to Dairy Queen and get the birthday cake ice cream cake.
I'll tell you what party he won't be running under, and that's the Right to Duck Life party.
That's horrible. It's horrible.
It's awful.
But I'm just saying, my whole point is, you know, why have these people on your chats when they don't speak the truth, when they're looking the other way while we're struggling? I'm tired of struggling. I don't know about you guys. I'm tired of struggling. When Obnoxious went through his thing at Wanamaker, that made me mad. You know, don't get into somebody else's conversation and don't tell us what we don't and do know.
Well, he was in the conversation because he was the FFL. Now, whether he should have his FFL or not is another debate altogether. But
yeah, but
he was involved in that conversation. He didn't just come in. Matter of fact, the guy who just jumped in the conversation is the one who knew what the hell he was talking about, and the reason I was able to come home with it.
There you go. But still, come on, man. We ain't got time for this. We're running out of time. Time is ticking. Tick, tick, tick. And if we don't do something now, hey, I can't save California. I can't save Maryland. Nobody can save these places but gun owners themselves. And that's the bottom line. And if gun owners want to sit on the backside and they want to listen to some hoopla from Adam Kraut or some other person that talks about change, but they really don't have any kind of plan for change, then it's never going to change. And that's the problem that we're going to have. So, you know, it's time for us to get off our butts. It's time to be motivated. We have, when's 2020?
Next year.
Next year, but how many months until then? Because you seen Beto O'Rourke got in there, and now this Stallwell guy, you see him?
Oh,
go look at
Swalwell's a jackass.
Oh, buddy, I'm telling you, they're coming out of the woodworks, folks.
Swalwell's a joke. He's been a joke since the first time I ever saw that guy. That guy has.
We won this nuke you. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the nuke you guy.
Yeah.
Don't nuke me, bro.
Don't nuke me, man. Come on.
If you think I'm joking that the weirdos are coming out of the woodwork,
it's not nuclear. It's nuclear. Just remember that.
What is the point of the NRA show coming up? Like, what is that all about?
What's
Is that just
the point of the NRA?
like, is that just another gun show? Is it a trade
More
show?
or less.
Is it a conference?
It's a trade show. It's a
trade show, I believe.
And then they have a speech or something there, and that's about it.
Yeah, but you don't have to go to that.
No,
it's a combination of a trade show and a conference. Most people just go to the trade show portion.
So they're not going to be necessarily talking about laws and strategy.
Oh, they are, but you don't. That's in kind of separate conference rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, I went last year and didn't go to anything but the trade show. And it's just like a smaller version of SHOT Show that's actually open to the public, and they're actually selling stuff there, stuff like that. Not guns and ammo, but stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if the stuff they have in the conference rooms, if that's open to everybody or not.
Most of it's just you have to buy a ticket. Like, I mean, you can even buy the ticket to go see the president speak and all that, and you could get them as cheap as like $10 or $20. But I didn't have $10 or $20 to spend seeing somebody. Wait, no, I just didn't want to go see somebody.
Yeah, because they're not going to be dropping any groundbreaking stuff at those.
I know. If last year it was broadcast everywhere you walked in the trade show part of it, they had big monitors up and stuff with it broadcasting on it, so you could watch it if you wanted. Didn't interest me that much, you know. Maybe if we hadn't been taking due process and bump stocks away, we might have been interested.
I would rather watch Alan Jackson perform than watch any of those hacks say anything on a stage. That's just my opinion. He's playing live there.
Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie.
I hope he plays Neon Rainbow too.
Off subject, but Sarge, why do these hands look like old men hands? They have like wrinkles everywhere. Just asking.
For a friend?
Yeah, he must be busy.
He's detaining somebody.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, obnoxious one. I heard you were able to detain him with the donut.
I was able to take a picture of him with a donut. So he walks out of there with this donut, and he sits down. He sits down in the truck, and I'm down there getting my phone open, and he gets up, and I'm opening up the camera, and he goes and he takes a bite, and click. He looks over at me. Did you just take a picture of me eating a donut? Yep. You're a dick.
I hate you.
Sarge, we know everyone has to eat, but thank you for proving the stereotype.
Oh, no. You want to know who ate about 24 donuts on the trip?
Who?
Obnoxious.
Well, you know, he's got to keep his blood sugar up.
Well, yeah, it was up. He ate more donuts than anybody I've ever seen. I enjoy one fritter, and he takes a picture and puts it on Instagram. One.
Quick-chip apple fritters are pretty good, though.
Sarge, you forget the joke. You're law enforcement. You know, he got the joke. There's a long-standing joke about cops or deputies and donuts. Okay,
there is. Never heard that.
They're purposely made to be delicious. Everyone loves them. I'm not allowed to enjoy them now because of my profession.
Exactly.
You're allowed to enjoy them. You just got to do it in secret, and you got to do it in a truck without some asshole riding with you. I mean, at that point, we'd spent the drive down there and the whole weekend together. If he didn't know he was taking his chances coming back to that truck with a donut. That's on him.
And Scott's asking, now the donut Sarge had did not have sprinkles. I had one with sprinkles, and Jim ate like a whole box of them with sprinkles. But
you know, next time I'll know to eat it at the counter as I'm paying for it.
Be like the little old lady scratching off her lottery tickets. Only
yes, he's going to stand there in front of everybody, so they can't get up there, so he can eat his donut.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody.
Or if you're playing the coin gambling machine.
Oh my God. Oh. So we pull into this little gas station. It was rough. That gas station had to be like from the 1960s and hadn't been cleaned since, I don't know. It was a ways down the road. It had been built in the 1960s, probably hadn't been cleaned since then, but they had a buffet in there.
A buffet?
Yes. A gas station buffet.
It has sushi on it.
Okay.
I don't know. But
a buffet in a gas station built in the 60s that hadn't been cleaned since the 1920s.
But we pull up and they've got 8 pumps, and only half of them are working. And 2 of them are blocked by the guy with his truck and his trailer because he didn't pull up so that just his truck was there so that somebody else could do. He pulled all the way up so his trailer was blocking the other one. The other. Oh, no, I take that. There was 5 working because the other 2 that were working were on the other side, and they were both full. And I pulled up behind the car with nobody in it, thinking they're in there paying, and they're going to come out, and then I'm going to be able to pull up to that one. So we sit there for a couple minutes, and the guy kind of wanders out, opens the back door of the car, digging around in the back seat. You see him taking out change, and he goes back in. So I think, okay, he's paying for his gas and change. Awesome, but at least he'll be out of the way.
It won't take him long to get gas.
Nope. He didn't come back out. The side with the 2 that were there emptied out, and I just backed up, went around, and pulled over that side. The truck with the trailer is still sitting over there. They're talking. So in there, I pumped the gas, and my truck's got 25-gallon tank, and we were pretty low. So I think I pumped most of that 25-gallon. Guy still hasn't come back out to that car. That car is still sitting there in front of one of the half-working pumps. So I go in to use the bathroom, and the guy that came out to get his change is playing some gambling game. There, the ones where you drop the quarter in and then it falls down onto the tray, and if you hit it right, it pushes more quarters off that tray.
Oh, so, a little coin dozer.
You mean the ones you never ever win on?
No, those things are addicting. I'll play those for hours too.
He's sitting there playing that while his car sits in front of one of the 5 working pumps in the 8-pump gas station, blocking it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was he was a winner. But yeah, if I could remember where that place was, I'd tell you. So just so you didn't go, because it was not pretty.
But it has one of them coin dozer machines, so I would be all in.
Yep, has a coin dozer. So take all your change.
I was waiting for you to say that.
And make sure you park in front of the pump.
Oh, I will. I'll even bring my trailer just so I can block the other pump too while I'm playing it.
That's good. I'll bring my trailer and block 3 pumps.
Did you read 38 Super Partisans comment on the YouTube side?
Gas station buffet is the best buffet. Is that the one?
No,
the only place you can get food poisoning STD at the same time.
Wow.
Jason said after you left, he robbed the place. No, because the place was actually hopping. There was a bunch of people there, and there was actually 2 people sitting there eating.
Oh, wow. Andrew Faulkner says, I have a picture of a obnoxious one eating a hemorrhoid donut with what appears to be chocolate icing.
Well, see, that's what happens when you let Packer fans in the chat.
I threw out that link again to the Trigger Plus P channel. So anybody who's new in here, go sub that channel. There will be
that channel. They're doing good work over there.
And they need 100 subscribers real soon.
And they need 100 subs. So there's our big announcement. There's a little bit of Wanamaker stuff. There's a little bit of tomfoolery.
And a little bit of roll call.
A little bit of roll call. Roll call's running for NRA board member.
Hey,
make sure. Roll call 2020.
Roll call's got competition out there in the YouTube chat. Kingpin and John Z are putting a campaign together now.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'd rather have those guys win than the other douchebags.
I don't know anything about Adam
John Z
other than
for president. NRA.
Now, I met Adam last year at NRA.
He's a lawyer, isn't he?
Yeah, he seems just super down to earth, super nice. I mean, talk. Now, I have zero use for John Patton, and I mean zero use. He's a dick in person, just like you imagine. But as far as Adam goes, Adam is super nice, super friendly.
Well, he's got something there. But if he gets elected, if he gets elected or whatever they do or voted in, will he continue to be super nice? That's the issue.
And that's the thing. Dude. Was he super nice because he's super nice, or was he super nice because he's running for NRA board?
Well,
that's the point.
Well, he was even nice after the election. After the 76. All
right. I'll put this out there. Rob Pincus got turned down for the NRA board. Rob Pincus. And he is a staunch supporter of the Second Amendment. He's waffled a little bit when I've watched some of his posts. But he posted his letter that they sent him, and they turned him down. So what does that tell you? Change needs to happen there. It doesn't matter at this point who it is. I mean, I hate to say that because we see who's hanging out in the White House.
On the board and what's their requirements?
You have to be a life member. You have to be a life member.
But what's their criteria for picking them?
Other board members pick them, or you get basically signed on by members. You have so many members sign a petition to get your name on there. That's how Adam Kraut got on there every time. But there's people like, Marion Hammer is on the board, Ted Nugent, the guy that I can't remember, Sean Maloney or whatever from Second Call Defense, Julie Golub. I can't even think of all of them. There's a ton of them that I know that everybody would know. I just can't think of them off the top of my head.
Carl Malone used to be. I don't know if he still is or
not. I would like to see Kurt Schilling on that board. I listened to his speech at the Gun Rights Policy Conference, and he's from Alaska. He understands firearms. I mean, I'd put Kurt Schilling on there. I mean, I'm not a big supporter of like really rich people. I mean, I don't know if I'll call Kurt Schilling rich because he tanked his video game, but I mean, people with notoriety are on that board. I mean, look at Ted Nugent. I mean, that guy says something. You think I say stuff wild? Come on, man. Go watch the Joe Rogan interview with Ted Nugent and tell me I'm not sane. And go look at that guy.
You kind of have some things in common with Ted Nugent now that I think about it.
No, I didn't marry my sister or my cousin or whatever he married. Come on.
So Cindy's not your sister? Oh, okay.
No.
Third
cousin?
Not even first cousin or second cousin or third cousin or how many cousins you want to count back. We're totally different people. She's Polish. I'm Italian. That's how that goes.
You sound Polish.
Well, I do a lot of things Polish. I mean, go ask Fine Ape. He had to open my beers all weekend.
Or maybe that's just because you're from Chicago. Maybe that's why you sound Polish.
You're from Chicago.
I'm as much from Chicago. I'm even less from Chicago than you are, son.
Probably.
I'm from Rockford.
I'm less from Chicago than everyone in here.
You guys are both from Chicago.
From Illinois, you're from Chicago.
I ain't from anywhere near Chicago, so
I heard Gizzard was from Chicago.
You're from a little further north of West Virginia, aren't you?
No, that depends on what part of West Virginia, because there's actually parts of West Virginia that are north of Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yep. When you go up the Panhandle, when you go up the
that's a vertical foregrip on that end.
Vertical foregrip.
Yeah. No,
don't say that. Don't say that. They'll ban West Virginia.
They'll ban West Virginia. Don't say that.
You'll have to get a tax stamp.
Giving the rest of the country the bird.
Yeah, you'll have to get a tax stamp.
Is Gizzard even awake, or is he just here taking up a hole, sleeping?
I'm here.
You've had nothing to add in this whole conversation.
Not from Chicago.
Gizzard had a tough week. His week's over now, but he had a tough 4 days.
Yeah,
3 days.
Oh, 3 days.
Oh yeah, he took off Monday
because he took off Monday.
Well, yeah. I had to rest.
I think while roll call's in here, we should discuss Tulsa food and Monte Cristos.
I think we should go. We'll go through. We'll see how everybody did it at Wanamaker, and we'll start with Night Strike. And what was his favorite thing about Wanamaker?
That's cold, bro.
That was a dick move. Funny.
That was even more of a dick move than taking a picture of Sarge. Congratulations. You've gone from dick to asshole.
Are you new here? You're not new here. You should know better. You know better.
You should know better.
So is Tulsa Strike 2, is that still going?
It's still going for a few more days, but I'm not optimistic right now.
Well, it's not the end of the world if you don't make it this time. You can start it over again earlier.
I can't extend any further.
I understand that, but you can start it over again in September or October.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, I got an idea. Next time you do it as a flexible goal, and then you get something towards the trip.
Yeah, do it for November next time as a flexible goal, and then do it again. If you don't make it, do it again for April. And then if you get half of it, then you're perfect.
Why can't you? Go ahead, Sarge.
My yearly plan is going to be going to Wanamaker in November and save April for NRA. I can't do 2 in the same month.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't you open one of the account things and just leave it from now until November with no limit on the funds? Or
that's not how it works with the Indiegogo, unfortunately.
Okay.
So
it's got to have what? It's got to have a set end date on it.
It's got to be set. So they let you go anywhere between 15 days, 30 days, and 60.
And then the GoFundMe stuff is only for like actual stuff. Like you can't just have a GoFundMe fundraiser.
I could do a GoFundMe, but then a GoFundMe is not liable. You're not liable to send any rewards out. That's the difference between Indiegogo and GoFundMe. Indiegogo, you actually have rewards to give to people for their donation, whereas a GoFundMe, you just get the money.
So start up a new one, make it a flexible goal, and go from there.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I noticed. I saw my statement today on my Indiegogo, and I'm not gonna say the charges were high, but the charges were just a little bit more than I expected.
They charge you about 10 or 15%.
It's gonna be, and then they reserve some funds too.
Yeah.
They held out some funds too. I don't. It says in case there's returns or something, but I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah.
Does that mean I can return my patch? Sweet.
Apparently.
I'm still doing that.
Yeah, they held out a surprising amount, but that's okay.
Yeah. Night Strike, did you see John Z's message for you out there in the YouTube side?
Why are we meeting?
It's pretty bad when you don't even get a riled up reaction out of him and just get a sigh.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious why Rupan wants us to meet in Gary. I just don't know how comfortable that's going to be.
Don't even go there.
I don't think you want to go to Gary. That's Gary.
You don't want to go to Gary, Indiana. Trust me.
No, you do not. You do not want to go to Gary, Indiana.
What about Desert Gary, Indiana?
That's a little further south, so I think you'll be all right.
I will see you people again. Keep that in mind.
Maybe. So Gizzard, what was Wanamaker like for you? You've been there before, so you had a little taste of what it was going to be like. But did you have a good trip out there this time?
Yeah, I thought so. I enjoyed it. Of course, I've enjoyed every trip, but I think this was probably the best one because I think the more you do it and the more you have it under your belt, it's not new anymore. You know what to expect and stuff like that. And every time you say, okay, next time I'm going to do this, you know, so you have a chance to, you know, hone your craft, so to speak, a little bit. So.
Yeah, that's what I learned too. Is that this is my first time, and I got back and I started editing the videos, and I need to get a lavalier or something like that, like Sarge had, because there's a lot of crowd noise in mine that could be eliminated. And then if you try and reduce that, then it was way too soft. You couldn't hear, even if you took out all the crowd noise, but then you couldn't hear the person talking. So I need to do something there.
Just a little bit that Snob helped me out with that little phone rig. I mean, it didn't help much for my volume, but as far as being able to hear the people, and that's really the important thing, is to hear the people that you're interviewing, and is 100% better this time. Now, the camera work, of course, could stand a little bit of work, and that's where a gimbal would come in handy, I suppose. But, you know, you throw in this here and this there, improve a little bit each time, I suppose.
Yeah, and see, I thought I had a decent mic, because I took the Rode Mic Mini, is what it is, and it's a decent mic, but yeah, a lavalier definitely would have made it a lot better. Now, as far as
I need some way to have a front mic and one pointing towards me.
Yeah, then you'll need a mixer too,
or just get a dual lavalier.
Yeah,
like I have,
or if you got or set it, yeah. Yeah, if you set it to omni, if you got a mic and then set it, an omnidirectional mic, you're going to pick up way too much.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah, you would.
That's one thing I learned last year was, I had to do lavalier mics because there's just so much background noise there. Which, speaking of that, I seen today that Rode came out with a new wireless mic that's like half the price of the other ones, and they're supposed to be just as good as the Rode that Sarge has.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's smaller. It has a built-in mic also, or you can hook up a lav mic. You can actually clip the whole transmitter to your shirt. I just watched a video on it. I'll text you the link to that video.
Text it to me too.
Okay, because I think I'm going to get a pair of them, because I can get a pair of them for the price of one that Sarge has.
Hey, stop! What lavalier mic do you have?
I've got I had a Boya, so I bought a Boya dual lavalier mic for there, and it's great. It works great. I have no complaints, except wires. Here's another video on it, and my other thing. I'll text it to you, too. I haven't watched this one.
Yeah, if you were going to, sit down at a table with someone with that dual lav setup you have, it would be fantastic. But it is just a little cumbersome trying to step back while you're recording someone while they're trying to do a demonstration with those wires hanging down. So.
And I mean, it works. Don't get me wrong; it works fine. It's just kind of a headache compared to the wireless.
And it's probably a slight headache for the other person that's not used to it, man. So when you throw the wireless on them, say, hey, just throw this in your pocket, throw this in your collar, and just go to work. Just do whatever you do. It's easy for them.
Yep, that was probably my biggest thing, was when I was getting home and realizing, that the audio was a little lacking. Even with the decent mic, you almost, if you're going to do something at a place like that, you gotta have lavalier mics. It's just a must. And whether it's corded or it's wireless or whatever, you've got to have the lavalier. You can't just go with a shotgun mic, because you'll get sound and you'll be able to work it and you'll be able to get it in there, but it's not going to be.
You don't realize just how much background noise there is.
Oh
yeah.
Well, when I was going through editing my videos, because I record in two separate spots. I record my audio to an audio recorder, but yet I have my Rode mic on my DSLR just in case something happened. I lose my audio to that, so I have some kind of audio. But when I was going in there listening to it just originally, it's just ridiculous the amount of background noise you get, and you realize how much cancels out whenever you flip it over to the other audio. It's just night and day difference. So before November, I will have two of those Rode things that I just sent you.
I also learned when I got back to the hotel room Sunday night and started pulling the footage off and putting it on my computer is that you check and double check and possibly triple check your mic connection. Make sure that you're getting sound, and because I've got a few videos up now. Most of them were just B-roll of me taking stuff on the table so I could put it all together in a thing. But I did lose one whole interview with people doing concealed carry purses that has no audio to it whatsoever. I don't know what happened or when it happened, but yeah, I've got the whole video with them that has no audio. So there's not a whole lot I can do with that.
I had that happen, which is why I run the 2 mic system now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have a backup. And I've got a challenge for you.
Hold on,
video,
Rodney.
You need to voice over her interview. You need to sit there and read the lips, figure out what she's saying, and then you just do a voiceover, and no one will ever know the difference.
All right, I'm going to put this link out there in the chat because Rodney's saying he wants it. So I will put this out there for anyone who is interested.
Go ahead.
Is it the link for Trigger Plus P?
I've already put that out there, but I'll put that out there again.
But yeah,
and they're called Rode Wireless Go or something like that.
I'm definitely going to look at those.
I think in the video they said they were 150 or 180 bucks a piece, but that's like half the price of the other ones because they're anywhere from 350 to 400 for one.
What's the battery life on them?
It tells. I think it was 7 hours or something, and it has a battery monitor, has a signal monitor on it.
See that's see, mine lasts for approximately 16 hours. Mine does.
Yeah, but 7 hours is a long time. And you can run them off portable power should you need to.
Your Kingpin didn't go. Are you planning on going in November or trying to get out there or thinking about going in next April?
I was planning on trying to get there for the November show. Vandalistic Vlog said he's going to try to make it out. So if he's going to make it from New Zealand, I think I can make it from the East Coast.
Yeah, are you going to fly out?
I haven't really decided yet. Probably try to get a hold of Midnight and see what he's doing. If he wants to go out, we can probably carpool together. If I go by myself, I'll probably just fly out.
It's definitely an experience. I would recommend getting to it at least once for anybody who hasn't been. It's definitely something, and you don't know. I mean, I can sit here and tell you how big it is. Not going to matter till you get there. Not going to matter till you get there. Just see how big it was.
See, I'm usually a guy that I usually walk one side of the row, and then I come back down the other. I don't try to do both sides of a row. That's not really an option out there. You kind of got to do both sides of the row as you go through it, or you're never going to see everything.
And don't walk with me, right, Sarge? Because I have no rhyme or reason. I just randomly squirrel
reason or even remote sense of direction in there. You would never be able to find the cheese in the maze. You would just be lost.
And it doesn't matter. Even just going down the middle of the row and looking, trying to look at both sides. There's plenty. I'll bet I only saw maybe 3/4 of the thing. I didn't see everything.
How many tables do they estimate are in there?
4,200 to 4,500.
Yeah, right now there's a really big gun show that comes to the Virginia area. I'm sure Rich White showed millions of commercials for it, and every couple times throughout the year they come and they brag about being this massive gun show. And I think I heard today on the radio that they had 1,300 tables.
Yeah.
That's not even the bottom floor at Tulsa.
Yeah, so it's 3 times, 4 times. Hey, it's 3 times bigger than that.
A 1,300 table gun show is big.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's still big.
But this thing is gigantic.
Yeah, they advertise it as a massive gun show. I don't remember exactly the words that they use, but they definitely make it sound like this is like a huge gun show, and 1,300 tables is not very comparable to 4,400.
Yeah. You know, back, it's probably been, Lord, 15, 16 years, but as a kid growing up, we always went to the big gun show, the Wanamaker gun show every year, probably twice a year. I don't know. Just always went. I remember going all my life. Well, probably 13, 14, 15, I don't know. Some years ago, I decided I'm going to go to the gun show. And I really wasn't that into everything in the know and stuff. So we just went to a regular gun show at the Expo Center. I didn't realize it wasn't a Wanamaker. And it was literally just the bottom section. And it was like nothing. I was like, oh, this is so disappointing. It's like tiny. Because that's, you know, other than the Wanamaker gun show, it's really the only gun show I've ever been to. And it was just nothing. It was like one of them RK shows or whatever.
Yeah, if I go to the one here in Winston-Salem or Greensboro, it's probably as big as the bottom section at Wanamaker. It's probably about that size. That's still a good size show. That's a big show. And yeah, the one in Virginia, they're advertising 1,300 tables. That's a big show, but Wanamaker is that much bigger. It's just insane.
Well, literally the first day on Saturday, Stacy looked at my phone, and I think I walked 6.5 or 6.7 miles that day. I remember what it was. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, we were all right in that 6 to 7 mile range in there. And like I said, I know I still only saw like 3/4 of it. It's just like JM Davis. We spent, 5-6 hours there.
Yeah.
I bet I only saw like half of that. So yeah, if you go out there and go to JM Davis and go to Wanamaker, doesn't matter how many times somebody tells you how big it is, it's still going to blow you away when you get there. So other than Night Strike, other than not opening the door for pizza, and you've been out to Wanamaker, how many times have you been out?
Only once.
Only once?
Only once. I actually stayed in Tulsa. Now, I've driven through Tulsa several times. I just never stayed. Because I've driven, through the East and West Coast several times before cross country.
Okay, but I was asking about Wanamaker, not your travels.
Wanamaker, I've only been once, and that was last year. Tulsa once.
Were you prepared for how big it was?
G-Webs and
I'm not
trying
to rope you into anything here. I'm seriously asking, were you prepared for how big it was? This isn't Matt's chat. I'll give you a little grief, but not as much as Matt. So I'm specifically talking about Wanamaker.
I was prepared in the sense of I had, the Dr. Scholl's gelin inserts in my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But aside from that, I had no idea what to expect other than what G-Webs and other people had told me before, where it was like 2 or 3 football fields long. So, I'm used to walking. So, I'm just like, okay, just make sure I have decent shoes on, and there we go. I did not expect there to be most of the show to be all, mostly old stuff and no newer modern stuff. That was one thing I did not expect.
I tell you that's true. That's what I noticed. There wasn't as much newer used stuff as I was hoping. There was tons and tons and tons of older stuff, and then there was the stuff like somebody moved their stuff there or their gun shop and was selling there for the weekend.
I would sum Wanamaker up as this: it's the Antique Roadshow for guns.
Well, you have to realize there's still as many new guns as most gun shows or newer guns. But there's just so many collectors farms, which the show is originally like Tulsa Collectors or something too. Originally had the show.
Yeah, it's definitely the collector mecca. If you're looking for something specific that's an older gun, you're probably going to find it at Wanamaker. You're probably going to find multiples of it. You may find 50 or 60 of it. Like the Sarge has got. Have you released that video yet, Sarge? Or Your
AMTs?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Wasn't sure if that one had come out yet. Yeah, the guy that had all the auto mags, he had like 50 or 60 there, and Sarge did an interview with him. He said he had something like 200.
Yeah, he said he had a couple hundred. He said he had a lot more back at home that he brought with him, and he had more with him than I had ever seen anywhere in one place. Probably dealers didn't have that many in one place when they were new being produced.
Yeah.
He had so many.
Yeah. Dealers probably didn't sell that many while they were being produced, is what he had sitting there on the table.
So if you're remotely interested in AMT auto mags and seeing some of the different ones, this guy just gives a real brief overview, and I thought it was really cool. That's what struck me about it. That's why I wanted to go back and talk to him some more. It was just really neat seeing that many of them and seeing someone that knew so much about them.
Yep, and I don't think I've ever seen that many old lever guns in one place. I mean, that whole bottom section was old lever guns. I mean, it was nuts.
Or that many LC Smith double barrel shotguns either.
Mm-hmm. And if you wanted a Colt Python, if you wanted all the Colt Pythons, you could have gotten them there at Wanamaker.
As long as you got the money to pay for them, they had it.
Mm-hmm. That one guy had. Oh, I went by his table, and that was before Clover asked. You know, you and I sat and talked about it, and then Clover asked. Well, we're all standing there at the table, but the background noise is so much that Snob and I are literally talking about the Colt Pythons, and Clover asks us if we'd seen any Colt Pythons, and we thought he was joking. Like, are you serious? It's like, yeah, I'm serious. Because we were just talking about this. But the one guy, I went by his table and I pointed him out to Clover, and he had like 3 of those cases that they usually set on tables, the glass cases, full of the stainless Colt snake guns. And I pointed Clover over that way, and then later I went back by that table, and the guy had 3 more that I hadn't noticed. He had 3 more of those cases full of blued Colt snake guns. It was insane.
Hey, Night Strike. I just used your affiliate link on Palmetto again.
Thank you. It helps. Not immediately, but down the line it does.
Well, and we've got to talk about what I emailed you about. So.
Okay. They finally got the kit back in I was looking for.
So, Rich, have you ever been to Wanamaker, or you were planning this was going to be your first time?
Yeah, this was going to be the first time until everything went to hell.
And how's that going?
Well, my wife's hearing's okay, but I know it ended up she just had a blockage in her ear, and when that finally broke away, that cleared everything up.
Oh, so she didn't need to go for the hearing aids?
No.
Well, that's good.
But right after that, she ended up with the flu and missed a week of work, so our money went to paying bills instead of going. She wouldn't have got sick, we may have been able to go still.
Yeah, but you're still better. You're still better than what it was going to be. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. So, are you thinking about maybe November or next April, or don't know?
November is definitely not going to be possible but maybe next year, maybe next April.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's really big.
Yeah, I got the idea.
That said, it doesn't mean a damn thing that I'm telling you it's really big.
Yeah.
Your feet will tell you just how big it is after the first play.
Yes. Don't be like me and forget to take any Advil, so you got to buy it, at the gas station and pay like $5 for 24.
Yeah, I've been to large trade shows and stuff before, so I got an idea of what to expect. I'm talking every year there used to be a trade show in Three River Stadium when I was in Pittsburgh, and that place that was huge. So I mean, I've been to large trade shows, so I got a general idea of what to expect when it comes to how much walking is going to be involved.
Well, one thing I will say about like NRA annual meeting and stuff compared to this is there's carpet through a lot of that. So you have something soft to walk on through a lot of it. At least there was when I went last year in Dallas. There ain't no carpet nowhere in the expo building. You're on concrete all day.
Yep.
I've been to those kind of trade shows too. You'd be surprised. Some of these trade shows, you hear trade show, and it's all this fancy stuff like cars or computers and stuff, and you think, oh, they're going to have all this like nice carpeting and stuff, and we're walking around all day on bare concrete.
Well, that's what you'll be doing there too.
Yeah.
So, roll call. What did you think? Were you prepared?
Oh, of course not, man.
Was this your? No, this wasn't your first time, was it?
No, this is the second year I've been there.
Okay.
The first year I didn't know what to expect, and it was pretty much struggle. This year I knew what I wanted to do, but that kind of got nixed, and I had to try and adapt to how to do content. As a creator, I would say it's not difficult, but it's tricky. As a consumer, it's all day long. I mean, you could spend your whole. I mean, what was Saturday from 8 to 6? You could spend that time as a consumer in that place. As a content creator, you have to go, and there's no letting up. I mean, you cannot let up as a content creator. As a consumer, you have all day long, and you will enjoy yourself hand over fist. There's 4,000 tables. It's 11 acres of nothing but guns, gear, crazy ammo, survival gear. I mean, anything that you can count on your hand, it'll be there. Will the prices be there? Probably not. I mean, I struggled for a lot of things that I really needed. What I was really impressed with was AR parts. There's a lot more AR parts there than there was last year. Or I missed them last year. That's the thing. You cannot see everything. It takes you 2 days to skim over that stuff. As a content creator, you just don't have that time to do that. You have to go. Cindy, I don't know how many times she yelled at me because I'm always a sucker for the stuff in the glass cases, and that's always my downfall. I'll stop, I'll talk to people, I'll forget to record them and walk away because it's just
that's where I ran into it because I kind of figured I'd have 2 full days. So Saturday was basically me being a consumer. I did a couple of creator things on Saturday. So, but then Sunday they all start packing up and getting out of there. So at the end of it, I was just running around trying to get B-roll for a lot of stuff when I could have kept, I probably could have done a little more on Saturday. I could have worked in a little bit more of creator stuff on Saturday, and I wouldn't have had to go running around so much at the end of it on Sunday and leave Snob to carry my 20-pound gun.
Yeah, I got old. And then I didn't even have car keys, so I just had to, throw it down on the asphalt in the parking lot for 30 minutes while I was waiting on him. Don't mind no scratches on it.
No, I'm not supposed to have it anyway, so there's that. But yeah, so you got stuck in the trying to do both at the same time too, I recall.
Yeah, I'm doing my pistol build, and I thought this will be a great opportunity. I'll split it up, right? I'll split consuming when I first walk into the door, and until I get to the gun channels table, I'll look through there real quick and skim over, and then meet everybody, but then break off and start consuming a little bit until hopefully I'll run into someone that's interesting enough where I'll make a video. What you guys have to remember is bring your gear. Your gear, if you're going to be a content creator and you're going to do the things that you see Clover, Ghost, Gary Gizzard, the Snob, all these guys do bring the correct stuff. Now, I was pretty much hamstrung. You know, the channel's not wealthy, and you know my job doesn't pay well, so I can't get some of the things that these other guys do, or you know I can't break the bank. I've got obligations that I have to pay for. I call them my long life commitments, and they're my kids. So I got to make sure all that stuff's taken care of. But my phone updated too during that time. If you have a phone update and you're going to do a lot of stuff from your phone, hurry up and update it before you leave or when you get a connection. That's another thing that really killed me, because when we got in Friday, I didn't get my update until Saturday morning. So then I lost space on my phone and I couldn't make videos because it would suck all my my storage. So Saturday night I had to let my phone update. It didn't update, and it didn't help that somebody changed my clocks. The clocks in my room were all wrong. And it sucked. I was 30 minutes behind. That's why I say be proficient with your gear. Know what your gear's going to do. That really threw me off.
Know how to use it.
Know how to use it too. That's a great point, Night Strike. My Booyah mic, and I like to thank the Poor Conservatives for sending it to me. That worked well. That worked wonders. When you saw the first clip that I threw out there, I used that Booyah mic with that. Man, that thing works great. Know how to use your stuff. Make sure before you go, you get it down pat. You can kind of free flow it, but you really got to know how to do it. And if you have some of this gear that these others guys do, know how to use it, know how to put it to its fullest capacity. That's another thing you have to do. As a consumer, we all are consumers at one point or another in our life. So you know how to do that aspect of it. As content creating, I fell short again. I really fell short last year, but what I really loved is going up to tables and people allowing me to take the pictures that I took. That really helped me in the long run. I might not have a ton of live content, but taking those pictures and letting people be open and telling them, I'm with, gunchannels.com. They've been covering this a lot longer than I have, but I'm part of their group. I'm not going to write a nasty article about you. I'm not going to try and stump you on I'm doing quotation marks, the gun show loophole thing. I just want to know about you, your product, and how I can push your product to the people that watch my channel, how I can push it, like how Obnoxious did those young guys that are starting off in Tulsa with their Cerakoting. They came, I went up to them, I talked to them, and I told them, come over to the Gun Channels table and talk to these guys. I'll introduce you. And they came right over there, and Obnoxious did a video for them. I mean, getting that out there, if I don't cover it, I know one of these guys has a better chance of doing a better job than I do, and I'd rather hand that off. Not only does that help Obnoxious, that helps that company, and it helps you as the consumer who is consuming this stuff to go and purchase their products possibly, or look at it and make it a great option for you to do it. There's a lot of things that go along with this show, and I know, like what Rich said, but this is a gigantic time. You have what was the average looking at a table, like 3 to 5 seconds to look at each individual table. That leaves you time.
You gotta know what you're looking for, and you gotta walk down the middle and kind of scan. And you're obviously gonna miss stuff. And if you're looking as a consumer, as somebody who's wants to buy something, mention it to the other people that are with you, because they might spot what you're looking for.
Or mention it to the tables whenever they're talking, because everybody there is usually really friendly. And just say, hey, have you seen any of these at the show this time? Because they were there all day Friday trading and looking.
Yeah.
These guys setting up. So
now, as far as equipment, I was really happy with my camera rig and how I set that up. I think it worked really well for me. It was easy to carry around. The only thing I'm, like I said, was a little disappointed in was the sound quality. But as far as carrying that around and everything, I was really happy with it. Now I did notice when the first thing I filmed, because it's that GoPro Hero 7 and it's got that smooth, what they're calling it,
hyper
smooth. That it's like it buffers the video a little bit, so you're a little bit behind when you start doing something. So if they're talking about something, you're going to be just a little bit behind when you get down to it. So that was the one thing I noticed about that. And I don't know if that's the same with the regular gimbal or not, if it's got a little bit of a delay to it, or if it's just keeps it smooth the whole way through. But with the digital gimbal, if that's what you want to call it, it does have a little bit of a delay to it. But that was the only thing. Now, roll call, did you have anybody jump you for filming? Because we did.
I had one guy. He was, I want to say, I can't even remember at this point, but he was running AR parts, and that's what attracted me to his booth, because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for AR parts. I'm looking for a good deal. So I was talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, I see your media pass." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm covering the Wanamaker Gun Show, and I got this media pass through GunChannels.com. They cover it every year, and Wanamaker, the people that put this show on, are willing to give us these passes." And he gave me this long story how somebody had a similar pass 1 year, and then they ended up being he described it as a tree hugger, but I guess they wrote a nasty article about him, and then it was in a big publication in one of the liberal magazines. And
that wasn't us. That wasn't none of us did that, did we? Because
no, this was, he said it was a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So I wasn't even there a couple of years ago.
Right.
So I was just like, "Look, man," and I gave him my card. I gave him a Roll Call 219 card. I'm like, "Look, you can look up my channel." I'm like, and that kind of hesitated me to, what's your company about? Let me look at your parts. Guess what? I'm building an AR. But then when I started talking to him and saying, I'm building a 10.5 AR pistol. This is the trigger group I got in, and blah, blah, blah. And I started spitting off all this stuff. I'm like, now you know that what we've seen in prior instances when people do poopy articles on somebody, they don't know as much knowledge about firearms.
Whoa. Let's not just throw out words like poopy on my chat. All right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's his chat. You got to go the full way. You got to say it right. Shitty.
Yeah, shitty, like shitty articles. And then we got to talking. I'm like, "Do you have a card?" And he's like, "Here, give them to your friends." I'm like, "All right, man." I shook his hand. I'm like, I'm not gonna film any of your stuff. I know you're kind of on the wall about me, because that's how some people think. Last year, me and Tardot got yelled at by a couple of old guys. And then even as we explained it to them of what we were doing, they just were like, "This is a total shit show, and we don't like you. Get the hell away from us." So, I mean, you're going to get that while you're there. And I should have informed you guys a little bit better. That's another thing I'm going to do. If I go next year and there's new people there, they want to do the content, I'm going to let them in on a lot of the surprises, because that was a surprise to you guys, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a spread. I'm sorry, I was typing to Ohio 45 ACP. Yeah, he's last year somebody was questioning him about pictures he was taking and wanted to know what he was getting out of it, and it's content. That's basically all we're getting out of that. We weren't getting paid for it. We weren't getting anything. We were getting content for our channels for it. But yeah, I ran into three distinct types of people when they saw that I had a camera. There was the people who were genuinely interested in my camera rig. I had 3 or 4 people actually want to take a picture because I've got the one piece that's still got the brand name on it. And they wanted, they saw it, and I kind of went over the camera rig with them, and how everything was modular. I could take it apart and make it, smaller if I really wanted to. And it was a tripod and a handle and everything else. And like I said, I had 3 or 4 people that actually wanted to take a picture of the brand name so that they could look up and find the stuff. Then I had a couple people that were kind of on the fence. And the biggest one that strikes me with that was right after Sarge and I did the interview with Snob for his video. I went, and there was a guy there that was selling copper rounds, and he was selling like little cannons, whether he makes them or buys them or whatever.
Was that the guy with the flags?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Before you go on, I'll tell you the story. Last year, he had the American flag the wrong way. Cindy went up to him, pointed that out to him, told him that her father was a Vietnam veteran, that flag should not be hung that way. He needs to hang that flag the right way. That's the same guy. Well, he got into Cindy's face, and I went over there, and I don't say it much, but I told him, look, I'm a veteran. I'm standing with her, and you need to turn that flag. We walked away. We got chicken on a stick, walked back, and no more than we did that, he had that flag turned. I know the exact same guy that you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I was just.
Yeah, he was the guy with the.
Go ahead, Snob. Go ahead.
I was just going to say he was the guy with the cannons, and I was going to buy one last fall, one of those smaller ones, like the $100 one. And he started questioning me about, and I didn't have my camera or anything with me. I just had the media badge on still, and I was going to buy one. And he started questioning me and just kind of being a jerk about the whole media pass. And I just said, "All right, thanks," and just walked away. I was like, "I am not spending $100 with you."
So he cost himself a sale.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, he was not quite that bad this year. So you must have had, and you told me about the guy down below that had all the backpacks and stuff. And he was another one that was, well, he wasn't, oh, I want to see your camera rig. He was a little more he was more in the camp of, why are you filming? What are you doing? But then when I explained it to him, he, and I bought a backpack from him, he actually wanted me to get a picture of his, his table and get some video of his table and his sign. So he was definitely better than what you'd said he was last year.
Yeah, because he's the one that came up to me and grabbed my arm while I was filming.
Yeah. So you actually made an inroad with him last year. So he was much better. Now the guy with the cannons and the flags and the copper rounds, he was a little further to the standoffish part of that group. And what are you doing filming? And and I kind of went over, that Wanamaker was kind enough to let us have media badges and give us media badges, and we came in here and we're doing a little bit to promote the show. Not like they need a whole lot of promotion, and raise some awareness for the Second Amendment and get some content for our own channels or our own Instagram or whatever. And he was a little better, so maybe next year he'll be even better. Maybe not. Maybe he just won't. But that was the two. And like I said, there's people genuinely interested in the camera rig and my equipment, what I was filming with and how I'd set it up. Then you had the people that were kind of on the fence about having people in there with camera.
You with camera?
Yes. Then there was number 3, which was the scolders, who I had 3 or 4 of them. And the most memorable one is with Sarge and I. We were just walking down the aisle, weren't filming anything, but we both had our camera rigs with us, and Sarge has a full gimbal, and he's got his camera and microphone, and he's got a mixer, and then I've got my setup, which was not quite as big as the gimbal, but it was about that size. And we were walking down the aisle, and I heard, "Hey, you!" Don't just holler, "Hey, you!" If you're talking to me,
there's a lot of yous in that place.
There's a lot of yous in that place. So
I
kept
walking with the badge.
No, it was "Hey, you," and then I just kept walking, and then there was another "Hey, you." And I think that was the first one Sarge heard, because he didn't hear him the first time, and we both just kept walking. And it was, "Hey, you with the camera." Oh. And we both turn around, and the guy comes zipping up on his rascal, right up to our feet.
Did you show him the media badge? Shove it in his
let
face?
me finish my story, would you?
Continue, please.
Comes zipping up to us on his little rascal, stops right at our feet. And he goes, do you have permission to film in here? And I just kind of turned with my badge, and I showed it to him, said, "Sure do." And I turned and started walking away. Now Sarge had a little longer discussion with him, but I was done. It was "Sure do, fuck off, goodbye." But Sarge is a little more professional than I am when somebody's a complete dick, because he's got more experience at it than I do.
Well, I got scolded 3 times, and I deal with people every day, and you can't start off being like they were. And I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to enforce with the rules, and they probably weren't made aware that people were going to have media badges, but they just start off aggressively when they don't ask you about it. They like really question you, like I said, aggressively. And then when you, like the first guy that came up and asked me, I told him, I said, yeah, I've got media pass, media credentials. He continued to scold me. Even after he saw him, I'm just like, I'm not partaking in this. I'm leaving now. You can scold somebody else because we're done here. I don't understand that point. I don't know what they were trying to do. I get asking someone, but you can ask someone nicely because, hey, they may have permission. But I was already getting scolded as if I didn't. And then when I showed them I did, the scolding continued. I'm like, no, there's no, not good.
What kind of shocks me is, typically if you're going in there and you're not supposed to be taking pictures and stuff, you're going to be using your phone, not this huge gimbal rig with a GoPro on it and mic standing off of it,
Or a phone.
I mean, both of but I mean, they came up to them two who both have these big rigs, with mics on them, and everything looks pretty professional. And you'd think that would be, kind of a hint that they might be legit.
Yeah, it wasn't that we were, sitting there holding our coat to shield our phone as we're walking over the tables and just, taking video and trying to hide the camera. We both, like I said, Sarge had his full gimbal with his mixer and his mics on, his mic on it, and his Rode Link on it and everything. And I had my setup, which is slightly smaller than a full gimbal, but not a ton. And yeah, so big signs at the door saying no cameras. I think somebody might have spotted us if we'd walked in with those.
I think one of the things, and I don't mean this as a demeanor, but sets me apart from you guys is I don't use those kind of rigs. That's why I love using my phone. And that's why I depend on my phone, because it's a little bit less discreet, if that makes a little bit of sense. Because I've seen some guys that pointed out Obnoxious's camera. It was the guys where if you sat in, this is for the guys that were there, when you sit in front of our booth, the table right off to our right, and they had the little 1911s. I forgot their name, and they were in those little cases, those little soft phone cases. They were pointing out Snob's rig about the camera and wondering what we were doing there. And I went over there and told them, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool, blah, blah, blah." But I think one of the things that I like to do is just use my phone to take the pictures and use video. I think that gives me a little bit of an edge because then you don't get noticed so much. Like how you and Sarge were walking down there and some old ratty poop head comes through here and starts wanting to know what you're doing.
That's the second time I'm going to warn you about using that kind of language.
You should say shitty.
Yeah, say shitty. But I think that's one of the things that keeps me kind of in the cusp. And then it kind of eases the situation when you go into and somebody's willing to talk to you. How many? I want to ask this question: how many people had it when you filmed somebody's booth or took pictures of it? Said, "I did not want to be on camera." Did you have any one of those?
Oh, I asked several and the ones I was just taking B-roll of, and yeah, they'd be like, "Yeah, you can film whatever you want, just don't get me in it, or if you get me in it, cut me out."
I had a couple when I was doing interviews that somebody at the table didn't want to be the one doing the interview. Like I'm trying to think. I don't think it was a concealed carry purses, but there was one where there was two people at the table, and and like the kids doing the Cerakote, there were three of them, and I asked which one of them wanted to be on camera, and the other two pointed the finger at the one guy. So he was the slow one, so he had to do the interview. But I don't think the other two had a problem with getting caught on camera, and I don't think anybody had problem getting that I filmed had problems getting caught on camera. It's just I didn't want to be the one talking and doing the interview.
Well, as a matter of fact, when I was carrying my small, little, tiny, discreet camera rig in the building that nobody would notice, I had a little old lady walk up to me and ask me, what I was doing with all that. And I told her, and she was as sweet as can be. And she goes, "Well, do you film little old ladies?" And I said, "Well, I sure would if you want to be filmed."
Just on Saturday nights.
Yeah. So she tells me her booth, and she's all about me coming over there to film her. So if you watch my 9-minute long Wanamaker video, you see a little bit of her in there talking about why the show and stuff. It's pretty neat. So she was real sweet. And her name was Barbie, and her husband was Ken. So,
That's even better. I mean, there's a lot of things. If you're thinking about doing it, for either aspect of it, I just say throw it on your bucket list and do it. This is one of the greatest experience. This is what I look forward to every year because me and Cindy decided to go every April. This April, it was a great turnout. It was a great turnout for the Gun Channels crew. Meeting you guys, hanging out with you, and watching you guys experience this stuff. The next year, we are gaining so much information, so much time doing this that we can all work together at this point and start putting really good footage together and really putting Wanamaker on the map and getting how many people saw a real famous YouTuber there? No one did, except for us. This is a big piece of the pie. If we can make this really great, give them exposure, because if it wasn't for gunchannels.com, I think this wouldn't really do it. Cindy just told me that somebody had walked through there and did like a live feed, and gunchannels.com table was in that live feed of the Wanamaker Gun Show. So somebody else was there filming it, and it was on TV. Exposure is exposure is exposure. Not the gun, not like the gun snobs Porky Piggin that he missed out on, and the creep you saw in the blue truck.
I have my back to that. I was leaned up against that blue truck. I could not see the driver's seat.
I was blind for like 20 minutes. It was horrible. But this is what it's about, guys. I wanted to bring so much stuff, and I couldn't do it. But now I know for the second year what to do and what not to do. And
I think we got to get to Sarge. We haven't got to him yet. But I know this was your first trip there. Have you got time to kind of give us your impressions? Sarge.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, sir. Are you available and free to give us your impressions?
No, the other
of your...
Sarge.
Yeah, for just a minute. Yeah, it's big. I should have been more diligent. I realized a little too late in the show that you have to mix the consuming and the content creating together, like Roll Call said. Take your stuff, get your rig all set up, get your backpack, whatever you're going to roll with, and start walking the aisles, looking for stuff that you want to buy. And when something catches your eye that you want to talk further about and do a video on, be ready to do it. That's where I fell short this time. But it's my first trip, learning. There's a learning curve to all this, and I'm going to be ready for the next one.
Yeah, that's definitely a much better plan. Is to mix them together, so that you're not wandering around at 4:00 on Sunday trying to get B-roll while Snob holds your gun that you're not supposed to have.
Yeah, I was trying to do both.
And your dang heavy backpack.
And that's not the way to go. Get your stuff ready. Get out there, hit the ground running, look for things that you want to buy and make deals on. Maybe take some notes if you want to come back and, double check throughout the show, like some prices. Luckily, they have all the aisles marked to kind of help you. But then look for content, do it when you see it, and then move on.
Well, see, I kind of have the approach to it. Like, usually, then I've only done content there twice, but I walk through, basically kind of skim over the whole show real quick. And like last year, I was doing content, but I was still shopping. This year, I wasn't really shopping because I'm saving all my money for Indy in 2 weeks. So I just really went through there and just kind of looked at everything. But the whole time, I was looking for possible content. And if I seen it, I would go talk to them. Then I'd take my phone and throw a little note in there, what booth there was. And I had my phone if I wanted to shoot some video or some pictures or something while I was just walking around there and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think most of us were kind of thrown for a loop this year. Like, I had big plans for JM Davis and for the show for, doing live content from them. And we found out on the trip down there on Thursday night that we weren't going to be able to go live. So a lot of us, there's other things out there, and we know there's other things out there now. And I don't think it was, YouTube going directly after gun channels. I think it's a bandwidth and a business decision that they restricted live from mobile to people with over 1,000 subs.
I heard today it was something to do with the Christchurch thing.
Oh, with the shooting.
Mm-hmm. So you had to be, established before you could just go live from a mobile. And that kind of makes sense in a way.
Kind of makes sense, but it's one more thing where they're being reactive and they're making that guy more powerful than he should be. But it struck at the absolute worst time for those of us that were heading down there. I mean, there's no two ways around it. It absolutely struck at the worst time for smaller channels that were going down there to do it. And I found out while we were down there, I think I found out late Saturday or something. Somebody had mentioned another program, which they were talking about that on the Daily Gun Show last night. That may be questionable, running a third-party software to get around that, where you could be. It's one more thing that Google could come after you for as a violation of the terms of service or whatever that you're using. You're trying to get around their terms of service to do it. So, you're kind of taking your chances, and it makes sense. So you're kind of taking your chances if you use a third-party software to get around their live restriction. So yeah, I lost content because I couldn't go live while I was down there. Now I got about an hour and a half worth of film from JM Davis that I can go through, but it's nothing like going live and talking to the people and actually being there, and maybe they catch something on the screen that they want to see better, and you can stop there and take a closer look at it and go over it. But I got about an hour and a half that I may just put together and speed it up to 3 or 4 and run through it so you can see the stuff, and you can pause when you want if you spot something, and hopefully you'll be able to see it well enough to make it worth watching, an hour and a half of just video of me walking through J.M. Davis. But I didn't even bother at Wanamaker.
Now, one thing I thought was kind of fun, though, that we did was when we did our little live stream on my channel from J.M. Davis, all of us just sitting around. I thought that was kind of fun and neat and kind of different.
Well, yeah, because you could go live. That's why you thought it was funny.
I said fun, not funny.
Fun. Rather.
Oh,
that was fun. It was
something
nice.
Different than what everybody's done before. So
yeah, just having like a little round table there and going through. That was fun.
I think next year we should, or in fall, just whenever we go, or Gun Channels goes. I won't be able to go every time, but when we do things like this, maybe we need to, because that round table I thought worked. I enjoyed it. I think if we maybe put it out ahead of time, like we're going to try to go live from the show at like 12 and 4 or 10 and 2 or something like that, and put it out ahead of time and just kind of give updates, or maybe you run into somebody interesting and they come over and sit with us, gives us a little bit of time to go plan it out. That might be kind of fun. Just go live a couple times and get it out there ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we kind of know what technical difficulties we have, Sarge.
Yeah, that was a learning curve. I hadn't used the mixer for that application, but we figured it out pretty quick.
And we also learned ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah. And they didn't even catch us move the couches.
Nope.
Let me ask you guys this. If they've got a no camera or no filming policy at a gun show, doesn't that feed into the anti-gunners whole gun show loophole thing?
No, because that's their rules. The people that run that show, they don't own the building. They rent the building. That's their rules.
The building rule? You're saying you can't film in there for anything, ever?
No, it's not the building.
That's the people that run the show. When they rent that building, that's their rules.
What I'm getting at is, if the media says there's a gun show loophole, which we all know there isn't, and a gun show, any gun show, little podunk nowhere gun show or this big gun show says no filming in the building. I understand people like their privacy, but by saying that, you're playing into the anti-gunners' hands. This is something I would say he's saying to the management of this gun show or any gun show is you realize you're giving them exactly what they want. Why isn't there any filming allowed in here? Oh, it must be because you're trying to hide something. I mean, I understand people don't want to be on film. It's a vanity thing. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to be seen buying a gun because now the government can track me. And these are the tinfoil hat people. But there's also the people that will just duck out if they're in the shot because it's a vanity thing. I get that Americans like their privacy, but any gun show that says there's no filming in the gun show is giving the media exactly what they've been asking for.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get around. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I know what their motivations for not allowing filming in there is, but there's a dozen different reasons of why they wouldn't want you filming in there. There's the guy that had 5 cases of Colt pythons. He might not want you filming because he doesn't want to know anybody know that he's got a couple $100,000 worth of guns sitting there. You got the guy with all the auto mags that are sitting there. Maybe he doesn't want everybody to know that he's got 200 auto mags. That I think the lowest one I saw in there was $500 and up to $1,500 and $2,000 for those. And then you got the people that just don't want to be on camera. You've got the people, you want to make sure that you're not catching anybody filling out their 4473 and getting their info. You've got, I mean, there's a dozen different reasons not to film at a gun show. And if the antis are going to use it that, it's you know, they don't want you filming because of the gun show loophole. Well, they're gonna find a dozen reasons on why they can claim that there's a gun show loophole. The not filming in there is the least of what they're gonna claim.
I mean, you gotta understand, Squib, when you're in there, there's just not vendors there. There's people with private collections. And with what comes along with private collections is private sales. Now, I did mine a private sale way, but I did it the right way. I showed him my conceal and carry permit. He showed me his dates checked out. My dates checked out. My stuff was valid. His stuff was valid. There's a lot of validity into that, and I can see where you're coming from, but that's why we get these media passes, so we can bring that to the forefront. But I understand what you're saying.
And I think it's important that you guys do that, though, because it shows, look, here's law-abiding citizens obeying the law, doing something that's normal. This is an average every weekend kind of thing anywhere in America. Yeah, this is the big one, but still, look, where's all of this crime you guys are talking about? Where's all these laws being broken? No, you don't want to zoom in on their 4473. No, you don't want to go, let me see your face, give me your full name, and what's the serial number on that gun? No, and if you're going to bring in $1 million private collection into a building and you don't want to be filmed anybody could be in there and not film you and just follow you out. And when you get far enough down the road, run your car off the side of the so really anybody who's doing it is taking a risk, whether they're on film or not. But it's just the more normal we make this, the more people are going to go, yeah, what is the gun show loophole? Doesn't look like there's a loophole to me.
I'm going to bail on you, but everybody make sure you go subscribe to Trigger Plus P.
All right, Snob, we'll see ya.
All right, see you in a little while.
Sarge, what were you were coming in, trying to get in while Squib was going? Or not? Sarge? Oh, he must be detaining somebody. All right, guys, it's about time for Clover's show, the Talk Nerdy to Me. So we'll wrap it up. Anybody got anything they want to plug? We'll start with Forklift Guy. What do you got going on? Got anything you want to plug?
No, I'll be on Budget Guns and Gear Review, Right of the People, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. If my phone doesn't crap out, I dropped it on a steel rack today, so it's acting up.
All right, so that's on tomorrow night at 6, I think. Squib. Right of the People tomorrow at 6.
My phone is acting up. Trying to get to the mute button and my screen's zonking out. Yeah, Right of the People, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
And on Budget Guns and Gear Review. He does it every Friday for about an hour. And he talks about anything that's been going on with gun laws during the week. So tune in and somebody will get wound up, I'm sure.
With you and Budget in there, there's a good chance of that. You can invite Roll Call or Night Strike in there, and we can make it just a 100% sure that the wound up sumbitch of the week is going to come out of Budget show.
Yeah, I might have a Mountain Dew first. That's all it takes, really.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Squib.
Thanks for the invite.
And I think after a Budget show, there might be a little show somewhere outside the baselines.
There just might be this week. I think they call it Foul Territory. And I think it'll be at 9 o'clock Eastern time. 8 o'clock
right.
Central time.
All right. What do you got planned for tomorrow? For that? And then you're gonna have Foul Territory, and then you're probably gonna have what, the early bird?
Early bird on Sunday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. I don't have plans for either one. I usually kind of wing it 2 or 3 hours before the show.
Wing it.
Come up with
wing
topics.
it.
Yeah, I wing
He
it.
wings
man.
it. Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for the invite, man.
All right, so go check out Foul Territory tomorrow night and bring your own topic for Gary.
Well, maybe. I may have some topics. I'll see what I can come up with. You never know what the day will bring.
All right, thanks for coming in, Gizzard.
Thank you.
Night Strike. What do you got coming up besides Hit or Miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock? Anything? Got the Friday Night Strike, right?
Tomorrow I'm thinking about doing a Wanamaker Friday Night Strike. And I was wondering if you and Gary might be available to, give us a little more insight than we did this evening, a little more structure.
I might be. What time does it run?
It runs. Friday Night Strike is at 6 Eastern.
6 Eastern.
So it's before budget.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
To my knowledge, I'm available. Let's put it that way.
I'll do that. I'll set aside the time and
come over
there.
I mean, I think Sarge might be working, but he's more than welcome to jump in too. So
okay, yeah.
But I just wanted to get a more structured after action report. See what spots of Wanamaker was the best places to be at the gun show. That's what I'm kind of looking for. So go through your notes and see what you have there. You have available to talk about.
All righty. Yeah, I'll be available.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Rich, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, let's see. Sunday night, 8 Eastern on Loaded Media Channel. We will have This Week Unloaded. I don't know what we're going to talk about, so don't ask. I couldn't possibly tell you at this point. In fact, I might not know then. Because that's just the way we roll over there. But, yeah. And, there's all kinds of stuff over the weekend, so just you never know where I'll show up.
All right. Well, we look forward to never knowing when you're going to show up.
The past 2 weeks should be perfectly clue to that. I mean, it's been hit or miss when I've been showing up.
Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Rich.
Yep, no problem.
Roll call. Hey, buddy. Why don't you come over here, buddy? Tell me what you got going on.
Hey, thanks for having me tonight. It was a great discussion towards the end of it. I hold true to my NRA running for some kind of spot on their little board. I think there needs to be change in there. Will it make a change? No, it won't. But I'm willing to go in there, ruffle some feathers like I did this weekend.
Gary it's good thing Gizzard left. Otherwise,
he's already felt the fingers through his feathers.
Whoa, so whoa. TMI, brother.
Something you ain't telling me?
Yeah, stop. So thanks for having me, man. This is it's a better show than the closer. So yeah.
Whoosh.
Wow, whoosh. I mean, hey, go to my channel, subscribe, like the content. I'll be having some more Tulsa stuff come out through the week. Give me some time. Let me edit. Let me pull my hair out while I'm editing. And look for my pictures on Instagram. I did a lot of stuff on Instagram. Please look at my Instagram. It's Roll Call 219. Everything to find me is Roll Call 219. It's not hard. It's Roll Call 219.
Is it Call-Row? Is it Call-Row 912?
It could be
okay.
In your dream.
Okay. Check out 912 Call-Row.
It's not polka dot spandex?
Not yet, but if I have a couple more beers, it will be.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Roll Call.
No problem.
I'm sorry you didn't get to try the Fat Guy Challenge. I was really looking for that. And then I'm really, I mean, I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to video of you at NRA.
Oh,
So-
it's going to be a black. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh.
Thanks for reminding me. I'll be down in NRA. I'm only going to be there for one day. One
Yes,
day
I
it's
can.
going to be Saturday.
I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to that interview that Snob is going to, or that video that Snob is going to take of you down there.
It's going to be great.
So
Look forward to it.
make sure you get yourself all wound up.
I will.
All right. Sarge, what do you got coming up? You got any videos from Wanamaker that you're thinking about you might put out? Oh, he's still detaining people. So I will tell you that Sarge probably does have video from Wanamaker that he's going to put out. He also has a show Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern, and you'll probably see a lot of the people that you see here on there. And we may be talking Wanamaker. We may be talking detaining people. Probably not talking red flags, but we might. So thanks for having me on. I'll see you at the range. Well, thanks for being here, Sarge. So as far as me, I've got, let's see, next week I've got the video. No, a dick would not be, a dry dick be a Slim Jim. That sounds painful. I guess you would want it to be slim. Anyway, Obnoxious One, you can find me on YouTube, of course. You can find me on Gunstreamer, GunTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything is under Obnoxious One. You can also over to my Patreon, which is patreon.com/obnoxious1, and support the fight against e-begging. And I'll see you guys probably, well, I'll see you tomorrow night on the Friday Night Strike, where we'll discuss Wanamaker, and then I will see you Saturday night on Sarge's show, and probably see you Sunday night over on a little show over there on Midnight Range TM's channel. I believe it's called The Closer. Night Strike.
Remember a while back I said I quit. I said I quit a while back and I meant it. So don't fucking call me on the spot
The guy
anymore.
who
I
can't get
told
to
you.
his mute button has to do it. You guys suck.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure tomorrow is Free Patch Friday over at Gear Websites. Check that out. For every patch you buy, every order that you place on Free Patch Friday, G will throw a little something extra in your prize package. And we'll see you guys the next time.